Hi guys, my name is Christine, and today I'm talking about the power of words and how your manifestations will start to come true, start to appear immediately once you understand the power of words. Now, what I mean about the power of words is your inner dialogue. Okay, that little chatter that goes on in your head. Okay, that's what I'm talking about here, and that's really what's going to make the difference between your manifestations coming true and your manifestations never coming true. Okay, so basically your manifestations will happen much more quicker if you can start having a better internal dialogue, right? Because if you're always saying things to yourself like things never work out for me, things just are just awful right now, the things that I want in life are never going to come, they're never going to appear. If you have that internal dialogue, then that's not going to make your manifestations happen. It's going to be like a self-fulfilling prophecy, because if you keep on thinking, yeah, things never work out for me, you're going to act and behave in ways where things never work out for you, right? Because that's your belief, that's what you feel about yourself, that's how you feel about your life. So it's really important to get a grip on this internal dialogue of yourself, and think, okay, let's try and change it in some way. Let's try and make this a bit better. So let's say one of your internal dialogues have been that, right? Okay, things never work out for me. The things that I want are never going to appear, right? Let's change that a little bit. Now, it may be that you really do strongly believe that, right? So if you do strongly believe that, then going from things never work out for me to things are definitely going to out for me and they're going to happen immediately is going to be a bit tough, because that's not what your belief is. So you want to kind of give yourself a little bit of a softer, a new way of saying that, but in a softer way, which is, it seems a little bit more believable to you. So if your inner dialogue was, okay, things never work out for me, maybe something better that is true, that will feel true to you, is things work out for me sometimes, right? Sometimes things actually do work out for me, right? There's no point in me saying things never work out for me, because that's not true, because things have worked out for me in the past. And that's a much better approach, right? That's a much better way of thinking about it, rather than going straight to things always work out for me, things are always amazing, it's always sunshine and rainbows, I always get everything I want, right? Because if you don't believe that, then and you still really believe deep down that things never work out for you, then it's going to be very difficult, and you're basically going to be BSing yourself, and you're going to know that you're BSing yourself, okay? But if you say something like, things work out for me sometimes, that's true, because I'm sure sometimes things do work out for you, sometimes things do go your way, right? Sometimes you do get the things that you want. It may not be all the time, but it is something that happens, okay? So it's really important that you develop that, okay? And basically, be aware of your thoughts, be aware of how you're speaking to yourself. And this will really help with your confidence too. Like if you have confidence issues, right? If you have anxiety, if you have low self-esteem, things like that. You got to be careful with those thoughts too. Okay, you got to be careful with how, because how you feel about yourself is really, really important. Okay, because if you feel crappy about yourself, then you're not going to be really in the mood to, really think very positively, to try and take action, to like make your manifestations happen. So it's really important that you feel, good about yourself, and you feel happy about yourself, even if, you and I don't mean that you have to do it all the time either, because there's so much pressure, especially when like you hear things about like the law of attraction. There's like this connotation or this notion that you have to be happy all the time. You don't have to be happy all the time, okay? Because sometimes that's just impossible, right? You can't always fake it, right? Because sometimes you're going to have to fake it. If you're trying to be positive all the time, there are going to be times when you're faking it, and that's not going to feel good either, because it's ingenuous. It's not genuine. Okay? It's disingenuous. I think that's the right way of saying it. So, it's okay to have bad days. It's okay to feel a little bit crummy sometimes. But as long as, you are trying your best to try and make yourself feel better, then that should be just fine, right? Right, but like I said, be very aware of your internal dialogue, okay? Try and make yourself feel better about yourself, right? Like if you feel like, oh yeah, I'm not attractive. Let's say you're single and you have that belief of that you're not attractive, right? That when you go on a date, if you feel that you're not attractive, right, you're going to be very shy. You're going to be reserved. You're not going to feel very confident about yourself. which in turn may put off the person that you're going out with on a date. Okay, so you want to, change that about yourself. Like if you feel that, okay, yeah, I don't feel very attractive. You might be like, okay, what can I do to make myself feel more attractive? It could be that you get yourself a haircut, or you get your hair styled, or you put on a certain item of clothing that you feel really confident in, right? Or perhaps you actually start trying to make yourself more attractive by working out more, by exercising more, and maybe that you keep up with your hygiene, you make sure that you're well groomed, things like that. So then you feel more attractive, right? One of the ways that I feel more attractive in myself is if I do like weight training, because you can really see the difference in your body quite rapidly actually when you're doing things like lifting weights, and you can feel more confident quite quickly with that kind of technique, right? So that's just a little tip there that I've personally found for myself. Always, of course, make sure that when you are trying out a new exercise regime, make sure that you talk to your doctor about it, especially if you've had issues with your body and things like that. And sometimes it's a good idea just to run it by them first anyway, even if you don't have any ongoing health issues. I'm not an expert in exercise or anything like that, so when you do start to exercise, if that's something you do want to do, like weightlifting, make sure you go and get some proper training and you speak to a professional about it and how to do the right positions and things. But essentially, if you have this internal dialogue that's negative about your appearance, then there are things that you can do to improve that. You might not be able to improve everything, right? Because obviously you can't really, you can't really change some things about yourself, some things about your appearance. Like, for example, if you're short, there's not really too much you can do about it apart from wearing, platform shoes. But, it's things like that. But there are things that you can do to your appearance that can make you more attractive. There are things that you can do there. It's not like it's impossible. You can make yourself more attractive, even if you feel like you really, really, really are unattractive. Okay, but as you can see, it's really important that your inner dialogue changes, because if your inner world, as in mentally, right, is full of all these negative things, then it's really going to affect your manifestations. Whereas if you can change these thoughts even to just a little bit more positive, like the example that I gave before, that can really, really change things and really help things move along for you, and can help your manifestations come a lot more quicker, and sometimes even immediately, just with like a little attitude adjustment about how you feel about yourself and how you talk to yourself. Okay, it's extremely important that you you master this, that you master your inner dialogue. And because I know obviously sometimes you might not be able to help it. Sometimes you're going to have a bad day and you're going to feel crummy about yourself, and you're going to say some negative things in your head about yourself or about life or whatever, about the world, about civilization, right? You're going to do it. But if you're aware of it, right, and if you may have said it already in your brain, but if you're aware of it, then you can like change it, okay, in your head. You're like, okay, yeah, I said that about this, about that, about myself. That was pretty bad. But, let's see if I can change that around in my head. How can I make this a little bit better, right? How can I make that statement more, less harsh, basically, and more positive? Okay, so awareness really is key, because when you're aware that your thoughts are really important and the way that you speak to yourself is really important, once you're really aware of that, it's a lot more easier then to change it, so you're not running on autopilot anymore, and you don't have like that negative talk all the time, because like, okay, yeah, right now, because I'm aware, I know that I'm talking negatively to myself. So how can I change that? How can I improve that? How can I stop doing that, basically? Okay, so really understand the power of words and how important it is that if you want to really manifest the things that you want in life, that you need to be more aware of what you're saying to yourself and try and be more positive and have nicer things to say about yourself, okay? Because that will really, really change your things, and it will make you feel better too, okay? So thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally and you'd like coaching with me, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com. I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.